Are you tired of the emotional roller coaster? One day everything's perfect. You feel on top of the world. The next, disaster. You're stressed, anxious, convinced you have the worst luck. We spend so much energy labeling everything that happens to us as either good or bad. But what if I told you that way of thinking is exactly what's causing your stress? But what if we paused for a moment before we slapped on those labels? What if we just waited? There's a Buddhism old story that can teach us a lot about this. It's the story of a farmer and his horse. So, there was this farmer. Not rich, not poor, just lived his life, working his small farm. He had a horse, a loyal horse that helped him with his work. One morning, the farmer woke up, and his horse was gone. It had run off. His neighbors heard the news and rushed over, shaking their heads. "Oh, that's awful," they said. "Such bad luck." The farmer looked at them and simply said, "Maybe." Well, the very next day, the farmer's horse returned. But it wasn't alone. It brought with it several wild horses. Now the farmer had many horses. The neighbors came back, their faces full of smiles. "Wow, that's incredible," they exclaimed. "Such good luck. You're rich now." The farmer looked at them again and simply said, "Maybe." A few days later, the farmer's son was trying to tame one of the new, wild horses. He was thrown off and broke his leg badly. The neighbors rushed over once more, their faces showing sympathy. "Oh dear, that's terrible," they said. "What awful luck for your son." The farmer looked at them and simply said, "Maybe." And then the very next day, army officials came to the village. A war had started, and they were drafting all the young, able-bodied men into the army. Many of the neighbors' sons were taken. But when they saw the farmer's son with his badly broken leg, they passed him by. He couldn't go to war. The neighbors came over, their faces filled with relief and joy for the farmer. "What amazing luck!" they cried. "Your son is safe because of his broken leg." The farmer looked at them, and you can probably guess what he said. "Maybe." It's such a simple story, isn't it? But it holds a powerful truth, especially from a Buddhist point of view. Buddhism teaches us about the nature of reality. One of the core teachings is impermanence. This simply means that everything is constantly changing. Nothing stays the same forever. Good times change, bad times change. Luck changes. Circumstances change. Our minds, however, love to make things seem solid and fixed. We want to grab onto what feels good and push away what feels bad. But because everything is always changing, holding on tightly or pushing away fiercely often leads to suffering. We suffer when the good thing we were clinging to changes or disappears. We suffer when the bad thing we were resisting stays longer than we wanted. The farmer in the story seems to understand this deep truth, whether he calls it Buddhism or not. His maybe isn't about not having feelings. It's not about being cold or uncaring. It's about acknowledging that the story isn't finished yet. He knows that what looks like good luck right now could lead to unforeseen problems, and what looks like bad luck could surprisingly lead to something good down the road. His attitude is one of non-attachment to the outcome. He doesn't get overly excited by the good news or overly devastated by the bad news because he sees the bigger picture of constant change and interconnectedness. He practices a kind of equanimity, a balanced, calm state of mind that accepts the flow of life without getting stuck on the labels of good or bad. We see examples of this in our own lives all the time if we look closely. Maybe you missed an important flight and felt completely frustrated. "This is terrible," you thought. But then, maybe that flight was delayed for hours anyway, saving you a long wait. Or maybe, while you were waiting for the next flight, you bumped into an old friend or had a crucial idea for a project because you had that unexpected quiet time. Maybe you didn't get into your first choice university or didn't land that dream job. It felt like the worst luck. "My plans are ruined." But then, maybe the path you did take led you to meet amazing people, discover a different passion, or gain experience that you wouldn't have otherwise. In hindsight, that perceived bad luck was a necessary turn on your unique path. We often can't connect the dots looking forward, only looking backward. The farmer's wisdom is to live with that understanding in the moment. This applies so much to our modern workplaces, too. The workplace can be a constant source of perceived good and bad luck. You work hard for a promotion, and you get it. Yes. Good luck. I've succeeded. You might feel on top of the world, but maybe that new role comes with intense pressure, long hours, or ethical challenges you didn't foresee. Or maybe you get laid off. This is a disaster. Bad luck. How will I manage? It feels devastating, but maybe that layoff pushes you to start the business you always dreamed of, or to find a company with a much better culture, or gives you the time you needed to focus on your health or family. Maybe your big project fails. All that work for nothing. Such bad luck. But maybe that failure taught you crucial lessons that lead to massive success on the next project, or highlighted systemic issues that needed fixing anyway, ultimately making the company stronger. In the workplace, the maybe mindset can reduce stress and anxiety. Instead of riding the emotional roller coaster of every perceived success or failure, we can maintain a more balanced perspective. We can learn to put in our best effort without being overly attached to a specific outcome. We can celebrate successes without becoming arrogant or complacent, and we can navigate setbacks with resilience and a willingness to learn, knowing that this difficulty isn't the whole story. The farmer's simple maybe is a powerful reminder. It's an invitation to pause before we judge, to breathe before we react strongly. It's about recognizing that life is a complex, ever-moving stream, and our labels of good and bad are often just temporary snapshots of a much larger picture. Practicing this doesn't mean we don't feel happiness or sadness. We are human. We feel. But it means not getting stuck in those feelings, not building our entire identity or future prediction on the event of a single day. So the next time something significant happens, something wonderful or something difficult, try taking a moment before you call it definitely good or definitely bad. Just take a breath and think, maybe, just maybe. Embracing that uncertainty is where real peace and adaptability begin. Thanks for watching. See you next time.